Welcome back. We are less than a month away from primary day in a very closely watched election. New Jersey is one of two states with a governor's race in 2025, and these off-year elections often give us a hint at which way the political winds will be blowing in the midterms. On the Republican side, President Trump weighed in yesterday, endorsing former Assemblyman Jack Ciattarelli and likely cementing his standing as a frontrunner. On the Democratic side, it's a hotly contested and crowded race with 6 candidates on the ballot, 5 of whom faced off on the debate stage last night. With many of these candidates on the stage treating Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill as the frontrunner, targeting her, in their attacks. But as NBC's Bridget Bauman reports, Newark Mayor Ras Baraka's arrest last week during a protest at a federal immigration detention facility could shake up the race, as Baraka looks to appeal to progressive Democratic voters to win the crowded primary. But for more on where these primary races stand, let's bring in NBC's Steve Kornacki, who joins us now at the big board. Steve, what does it look like there?
Yeah, exactly 4 weeks away. And Donald Trump, I think he looms large, really is maybe the big X factor in both of these party primaries. Start on the Republican side here. This is from one of the debates, but let's just set the stage here for the dynamic. This man, Bill Spadea, is a conservative radio host. He's had Donald Trump on his show, on his radio program. He has been a staunch Trump supporter. He has been angling hard for the MAGA vote in this primary, and he's been the main challenger to this man, Jack Ciattarelli. You mentioned him. This is the 3rd time Ciattarelli's run for governor. He was the Republican nominee in 2021, and in the past, Ciattarelli had essentially been a never-Trump Republican. He's moved Trump's way, and in this campaign, he has wanted to have that Trump endorsement. Well, as you say, this was what Spadea was banking on to jumpstart his campaign, was to get the Trump endorsement. Instead, Ciattarelli gets it, and so just take a look at what that probably does to the race. This was the most recent poll, one of the few public polls we'd had before this endorsement. And again, Spadea was counting on this to shake up the race and to try to shake up these numbers. That was going to be his ace in the hole. He didn't get it. So you just look at Trump's track record in these primaries. His standing with Republicans really does seem likely to cement this advantage for Ciattarelli on the Republican side. Now, on the Democratic side, it gets interesting. You mentioned Mikey Sherrill being seen as the front runner there. In a traditional sense, she certainly is in New Jersey, in that she's lined up the endorsements of almost all of the major county party organizations in New Jersey. The political machines are still strong. Most of them are backing Sherrill. It gets a little technical, though, because what those organizations could do on the actual physical ballot to give their candidates an advantage, they can't do this year. There was a lawsuit. It's changed things a bit. So you look at this. Sherrill has those endorsements. We're not sure what they're worth this time. And you take a look. She's only at 17%. You've got these 5 other candidates between 7 and 12%, and that's where the Trump X factor may come in here. You mentioned it, the arrest of Ras Baraka. He is the Newark mayor. He's running pretty far to the left in this primary. He got arrested in protest at that immigration detention center the other day. He gets to say now, first of all, that attracted more media attention than anything any of these candidates have done during this race. So that from a media exposure standpoint, that took him to a new level. And he gets to say now to Democratic voters who are very anti-Trump, you know this, he gets to say that he's being targeted by the Trump administration. That could be a very potent political weapon in this still unsettled primary field. So Ras Baraka, after that arrest, again, there's not been much public polling, but he could be an interesting wild card now as this shakes out over the next 4 weeks. And then we said, regardless of who wins here on the Democratic side and the Republican side, for that matter, there is the matter in the general election of history. One thing to keep in mind, look at all these different colors here. What we're showing you is that New Jersey voters have a tendency in their governor's races to elect a governor from the opposite party of whoever controls the White House. You see, like, this is when, 2009, 2013, Obama's president. This is when Chris Christie won. 2017, Trump comes in. That's when the current governor, Phil Murphy, won. Now, Murphy did win when Biden was president 4 years ago, although it was a very underwhelming victory. So, again, with Trump in the White House now, that could be a bit of an advantage for Democrats in November and a bit of a challenge for Republicans just based on this history. But first things first, the primary, 4 weeks away.
Something about those off-year elections, Steve, a same trend in Virginia as well, which also has a governor's race. They tend to go opposite of the occupant of the White House. So we'll see after this plays out. Steve Kornacki, thanks as always. We appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.